Breaking news tonight. The Supreme Court out with this ruling on the Trump administration and passports. They're now saying that the Trump administration can force people to ID themselves on passports based on their sex at birth, meaning male or female would be the only options. Critics tonight call that a major blow to transgender rights. The court writing in the order that displaying passport holders' sex at birth no more offends equal protection principles than displaying their country of birth. In both cases, they write, the government is merely attesting to a historical fact without subjecting anyone to differential treatment. Let's bring in Laura Jarrett now. And that felt like it is perhaps at the crux of this idea of whether equal protection rights were violated with the Trump administration's moves. What does it mean in practical terms moving forward for example, transgender people, for people looking to identify themselves on their passport?
Yeah, Hallie, this is a super revealing decision for two reasons. One, because, as you say, I think it gives a pretty good window into how the conservative majority views trans rights more generally. Even though this is just on a temporary basis and just as it relates to passports, some of the language there, I think, is pretty frank and strong and gives a pretty candid view. It's also revealing, though, because it now marks yet another example of how this court has decided to treat the Trump administration's use of executive action, Hallie. Remember, this was something that Trump did in his early moments as he took office for the second time, basically saying there are only two sexes at birth. And so passport's just one of those ways that the Trump administration is now trying to flex its muscle on that, Hallie. Justice Jackson, Hallie, has a blistering dissent here, writing for the liberal wing of the court, and she kind of encapsulates the real-world impact here, Hallie. She says the plaintiffs and the classes of transgender Americans they represent are forced to make a difficult choice that no other Americans face. She says use gender-incongruent passports and risk harassment, bodily invasions on the one hand, or avoid all activities like travel, opening a bank account, renting a car, starting a new job that may require a passport or the other. So she's sort of teeing up what the equal protection argument would be, which is transgender people on this issue face discrimination in a way that nobody else does. Obviously, they did not win the day on this, Hallie. As I say, this is now going to work its way back through the courts. But as of right now, that passport policy is on. And it had been off since June when it was blocked in the lower courts. But as of right now, the Trump administration gets to do this policy as it continues to work its way through. Now, it doesn't mean it won't come back up to the Supreme Court again on the merits, Hallie. But as of right now, the Supreme Court is saying he gets to do this.
Laura Jarrett with that late-breaking development tonight. Laura, thank you very much for the analysis and for the breakdown on that. Appreciate it.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.